In the deep blue of the Cook Islands, something impossible was happening. A 50,000-pound humpback whale was pushing a human toward the surface, gently, but insistently. Below them, the water darkened, shadows shifting in slow, deliberate circles. Dr. Carol James, a marine biologist with decades of experience, had swum with whales many times. But never like this. The whale's enormous. I watched her. He lifted her with his head, pressed her close with his fin, and kept turning, always between her and something she couldn't see. Something circling deeper down. From the boat above, the camera was rolling, catching a moment no one could explain. Not yet. Why was this giant risking his life for her? And what was waiting below? This isn't fiction. This happened. And it changed everything. Hit like, subscribe, and let's go. Before the whale lifted her from the sea, Dr. Carol James lived a life of quiet devotion. From her modest home on Kauai, she spent her days studying the language of giants, decoding the songs of humpbacks, tracking their migrations, and leading a small team on the Cook Islands dedicated to whale conservation. Her mornings began early, coffee in hand, reviewing field notes and satellite data. Her boat was her second home, the ocean her office. She believed in science, but she also believed in something deeper, connection. For over 30 years, she had swum beside whales without fear, respecting their world, never asking for more than observation. She knew their rhythms, their silence. And they, it seemed, knew her. It was a life built on patience, purpose, and peace. But that peace was about to break, in a way no one could have imagined. It began as a typical dive, calm seas, warm light, and the quiet presence of whales. But on that morning in September 2017, something shifted. The male humpback she had observed before, massive, slow-moving, peaceful, was acting differently. He circled her, closer than usual. He nudged her with his head, something whales simply didn't do. Then came the pressure, his broad rostrum pushing her upward, his pectoral fin sweeping toward her body like a shield. At first, Carol thought it was a mistake, or maybe play. But whales don't play like that. The ocean, once familiar, now felt alert, watchful. She felt her breath quicken, instincts sharpen. Something was wrong. Below them, the water darkened. Shapes moved in silence. The whale was not confused. He was protecting her. From what, she still didn't know. But the question no longer was if something was there, it was how close. As the whale continued circling, his movements grew tighter, more deliberate. Carol tried to swim away, to regain control, but he blocked her path again and again, placing his massive body between her and the deep. Then she saw it, a shape, slow and heavy, gliding just beyond the light. A long shadow with the unmistakable movement of a predator. Her chest tightened. It was a tiger shark, large, powerful, and far too close. For a moment, panic surged, but she fought it down. She reached for her training, her years of composure. Yet the whale wasn't letting up. He kept lifting her, shielding her with his fin, his body tense, alert. This wasn't a random encounter. It was defense. But the question remained, why her? Why now? The water, once her place of peace, now pulsed with danger she couldn't predict or control. Held above the current by a creature 10 times her size, Carol's fear gave way to something deeper, recognition. This whale wasn't acting on instinct alone. He knew. Not just of the shark, but of her. Years of observation, quiet coexistence, gentle proximity, somewhere, a bond had formed. In that moment, she remembered a study from years earlier, whales seen protecting seals from orcas, dolphins from threats. Interspecies altruism, once considered myth. Now, it was her reality. On the boat above, the camera kept rolling, and her colleague, watching the strange ballet unfold, radioed for support. Meanwhile, the whale began guiding her, slowly, deliberately, toward the boat. He wasn't letting her drift. He was taking her home. She didn't know how it would end. But for the first time since the shark appeared, she felt something stronger than fear. She felt protected. With the shadow still circling below, Carol made her move. The whale had brought her closer to the boat, but not close enough. She locked eyes with the crew above, too far to reach, but watching. She had one chance. As the whale paused near the surface, she pushed off his back with both feet, launching herself toward the ladder trailing in the water. Her legs kicked hard, breaking through the tension of fear and the weight of the sea. Behind her, the shark rose, a flash of stripes, closing the distance. But just as fast, the whale turned, his massive tail sweeping across the water like a barrier. Foam and shadow clashed. Carol reached the ladder, fingers trembling, lungs burning. She climbed. Safe. Not yet. Below, the sea thrashed. The whale remained, holding the line between predator and prey. And she had left him behind. Back on the boat, Carol collapsed to her knees, wetsuit dripping, heart pounding against her ribs. The ocean stretched silent around them, calm on the surface, but heavy with what had just passed. She gripped the edge of the vessel, eyes locked on the water, searching for the dark shape that had saved her. For minutes that felt like hours, nothing moved. No tail. No fin. Just a soft roll of waves and the ticking of time. Had he been hurt? Had he gone? Her breath came in shallow pulls, not from exertion, but from doubt. The line between witness and survivor blurred. Around her, the crew said nothing. There was nothing to say. Below, the deep held its secrets tight. And somewhere in that silence, she waited, for the surface to break, or for it to stay still forever. The water broke. A massive back arched above the waves, smooth, black, alive. Then the tail, rising in slow motion, slapped once, hard, against the sea. He was there. Still watching. Still guarding. Carol stood, tears on her cheeks, mouth open but silent. The whale circled the boat once more, closer this time. A final pass. Then, with the quiet dignity only wild giants possess, he slipped beneath the surface and vanished into the deep. No chase. No farewell. Just a presence, then absence. But everything had changed. The shark was gone. The danger passed. And the one who'd stayed, who'd chosen to stay, had made his own choice to leave. Not as a savior, but as something more. Something we don't yet have a word for. Weeks passed, but the moment never left her. Dr. Carol Janes returned to her work, but something fundamental had shifted. The data still mattered, the science still drove her, but now, she carried something more. A quiet knowing. That connection is not always measurable. That sometimes, a life is saved not by instinct, but by choice. She began speaking publicly, not just about whales, but about empathy, about what it means when another species steps between you and danger. She started programs for children, wrote articles, shared the footage. And in every retelling, she returned to the same truth: that day, she wasn't alone in the water. She was seen, protected, chosen. And if one whale can do that for one human, what else might be possible if we choose to see each other too? This story is more than a moment frozen in time, it's a reminder of the fragile ties between humans and the wild. Dr. Carol Janes didn't just survive that day, she was given a choice, a silent promise from a creature who doesn't speak our language but understands our spirit. As you watch this, think about the unseen bonds in your own life, the acts of kindness, the moments of protection that go unnoticed. What if we all chose to protect each other like that whale did? Thank you for joining this journey beneath the waves. If this touched your heart, please like, share, and leave a comment. Your voice helps keep stories like these alive. And don't forget to subscribe, there's so much more to discover.